star-studded event filled with celebrities and successful business moguls like NBA superstar Kevin Durant's mother, Wanda Durant, famously known as Mama Durant, president and CEO of
Hi, everybody. Good evening, afternoon, wherever you are watching in the world. Welcome to Margaret Speaks, an empowerment platform. We say, thank God it's Friday. You're like, wait a minute, today I'm working from home. Doesn't matter where you are. You just thank God it's another weekend you get to rest. If you telecommute or you telework or whatever the tele thing is, it's a time for you to kick back and relax. Guess who's in front of you? Your very own Margaret Durecki, Ambassador Dr. Margaret Durecki of margaretspeaks.com. It is a platform where all we do is have conversation. In fact, next week I'm going to have a special guest, so stay tuned. But as much as I'm a very excitable person, I don't let life get to me. No matter what happens, I get right back up. I just want us to take a moment to kind of take in what's going on right now. I have an awesome topic. It took me a while to conceive that idea, but I'm going to give you guys some 7 nuggets. Doesn't matter who you are. You're not here to gallop all the whole information, even if it's just one idea, one new word you gathered from this, a conversation we're going to have, because it's not a talk, it's a conversation. And somehow you're like, conversation with 1 or 2 people. Yeah, you can email me, margaret@margaretspeaks.com, or you can go to my YouTube channel as well. But what has happened? What is COVID-19? Everybody's talking about this COVID-19 like it's being part of our language. This is just only a few months ago. But the way everybody has embraced the word COVID-19, which actually stands for the virus that came in 2019, it's like it's been here forever. That's how impactful, that's how much this monstrous virus has impacted our lives. It doesn't even matter what far remote villages in the world that you are. And I was just thinking about it even before the show. Why is this a worldwide event or a devastation? Maybe just the fact that we think we're different. We think we're better than the other person. We think I live here, you live there, and better. Maybe this is something that's going to teach us all a lesson that we are all each other's keeper. We are all each other's neighbor. No matter what I look like, no matter what I sound like. I am you, you are me. I am because you are because I am. My job in life, I tell some of the folks that follow me and the people that I mentor, coach in my line of work, that the minute you just discover why you were born, then your life is worth it. So I know that I'm born to be an encourager, the one who uplifts the others. Where there's negativism, I shrink away from it. So now we're talking about COVID-19. And I said, it will behoove me not to take a little minute, maybe just one tiny minute, out of respect for those who lost their lives. They didn't do anything particularly to be, right now in America, over 50,000 people have died. And I'm sure that is the same story. Even there was one about some whole family in Italy that's been wiped out. I'm sitting before you, not because I'm smarter or, I work harder than anybody else, but by the grace of God. It could have been me. It could have been any one of us. So I just want us to take just 1 minute silence as we watch a video that tells us about the people in the kitchen, the people in the food line, some celebrities such as Manu Dibango. I don't know if you guys know, he's an international musician. He just passed as a result of COVID-19. I call it the wicked monstrous virus. And a lot of people think that they have enemies. You know what? This is an invincible enemy. If you know and you can see and touch somebody, you don't have an enemy. But when something like this is so invincible, you can't touch it, you can't smell it, you can't touch it. What in the world is that? I don't want you to be scared because I have some good 7 nuggets I'm going to share with you. Is it Ellis Marcellus Jr. here in America? These are people who were untimely. And I don't care if people say, oh, they're old people. This is not about old or young. This is a time for all of us to come together. So let's take a minute, watch this video, and we're ready to go. It's only 1 minute. Oh, wow. That was just to give respect um, to the dead. And so hopefully they can now possibly somehow get respect, or their family members will know that they're not forgotten. So each and every one of you, I don't know who you know, I just pray that it is not is to make sure that everybody is not singing the blues. The good news is that the thing about life is no matter how bad, no matter how no matter how pitch black light will show up. And I'm the ultimate uh, positive person. I don't like negativism. Does it mean I don't encounter it? Just like everybody else. I get it. But I just chose, and life is a series of choices, decisions, and I'm very intentional with everything I do. Not because life is easier for me, but I know for a fact that the choices we make in life has a lot to do with what happens to us or what is going to happen to us. So I thought about it. I said, I'm getting back to the show. How do I talk about the living with so much, devastation is going on around the world? So many people are dying. So many people are losing their homes, losing their kids, whatever it is. So I thought about it. What if COVID-19 unexpectedly disrupts your life and disrupts my life like it has? What am I going to do about it? So I don't want us to focus on what can be done. I am in always in the corridors of those who say it can be done. What if this is a place where your life is supposed to be flipped? I call it flipping your destiny. Maybe as bad as this is, can we begin to look to see what good can come from this? So what I want to do is go straight to the point so that you can get something from it. My job this evening for you is to work with you to the extent that by the time this program is over, and I hope you hang in there with me, you're going to get up from your chair. Whether your business has gone down, you lost your job, and I'm telling you, if you go down in the annals of history of successful people, people who created jobs, people whose life turned around, if you really examine those lives, somewhere in there, you will realize that something terrible somewhere happened, but they didn't allow that to happen. Yesterday, my husband and I, John Derecki, we were watching because everybody's life has really changed. And the people that are catching are those that are getting up and not sitting and wallowing themselves in pity. It's not because life is easy, it's about the choices they make. And I'll get to the 7 points very quickly. But who knew? Because the draft of NFL every year in America is a big deal, is a huge event, everybody's there. But just because this distancing thing or this COVID thing is not allowing people to come together and love and celebrate, they didn't like this. They didn't let that stop them, just like people who work now. A lot of people, I was talking to a very important person in my life, and she was saying to me, I didn't know people could work so effectively, even more from home than going back and forth every day. So this is a game changer. And those who are going to come out of it better are those who are going to follow through with the 7 points I'm going to share with you. But last night, we were amazed. Every home that was expecting some kind of a call where they're going to be drafted, what NFL organization they're going to be playing for, they were there. It was amazing. Who saw that coming yesterday, even a week ago, a month ago, or what have you? But what has happened was a shift. If you're not ready for shift, you won't be ready to get what is due you in life. If you're sitting there wondering, but it was amazing. People quickly adjusted. As soon as the pronunciation is made or the pronouncement is made, the camera quickly goes, thank God for technology. Those were the people when everything shifted. Remember, what is disruption? Disruption is something taking you off of what you're used to, something dislocating your way of doing or being. But are you going to stay in the disruption part of it? Are you going to erupt yourself to the extent that you're going to do something different? So my work this evening is not only to encourage you, but to challenge you that where there is a will, there is a way. It happened to me unexpectedly. we were supposed to be, Witati convention was last weekend, our convention, and the scholarship and award, all of that was supposed to happen this past weekend. But you know, unlike most people, this is what I did. As soon as it became evident that there was no way that we were going to be able to carry this on the normal way, and then Witati has never really flourished on the web platform, but I knew immediately that if I were going to, and if our companies are going to survive this, I needed to quickly do what? Take control of my mind. And before you know it, we now have an online base where I didn't know it was possible, but I wasn't going to let the unexpected disruption stop me from moving towards the objective, which is making sure that the next generation students, or those who care to, they are not left with the aftermath of what COVID is going to be, which is where those who live wouldn't even know how to lead, wouldn't even know how to live their lives, because the way they were used to has been disrupted, and then are feeling like they're victims. But can I tell you something? You're not a victim. If you survive this, the book I'm working on, but let me give you guys this. And I think there's a concept, an idea that I came up with, that if you have the courage to survive it, you have the power to succeed. All you need to do, it doesn't matter. What I'm going to share with you is applicable on a personal level and also in a business level, on a business level. You see, by the time we get through this segment, you're going to say to yourself, I'm glad I listened. Because you know what? I'm not smarter than anybody. I'm not more hardworking than anybody. It's just that my mindset is one that I made a decision that no matter, it just literally, I take life and incidents in life as literally as you can feel it, so that nothing can stop me. So for those of us that are living, and I was just sharing that with my kids, I said, no matter what happens, at the end of this COVID-19, I call it the wicked monster, okay? So start calling it the wicked monster, right? Nobody knows when it's going to. We have a lot of theories, the doctors, and I respect that industry very much because they're helping us make sense of what's going on. But can I tell you guys, the same way this monster showed up, the same way it's going to dissipate. Nobody knows the hour, but we're believers. We know that it will come to pass. Don't think it's over. So I want to segue into those seven, what I call the seven things you can do when life disrupts unexpectedly. Unexpectedly is, well, we were expecting to have our convention on the 17th, 18th, and 19th of this month, actually. But there are so many other business owners that are calling me, say, what are we going to do? I don't know what. But see, confused people do nothing. I said, take that somewhere else. I need to put on my thinking hat. I moved away from all nonsense, shut myself in, and went to the Lord and began to put the ideas down. Can I tell you guys, this, as messy as it is, as unpredictable as it is, I'm telling you, we are experiencing a great time in our lives because it was a mindset. So let me use the points here to make the point, to get the point across. So are you ready? Get a pen, get a pencil, call a brother, call a sister to listen in, because whatever you embrace is what's going to make a difference in your life and how you utilize it. So the question is, COVID-19 unexpectedly disrupted my life, disrupted your life, disrupted your business. What are you going to do about it? You are alive and well, so that's a great thing. But that's not enough. And I was trying to say earlier, at the end of this whole thing, I don't know when that end is coming, but for sure the end is coming. And some people say, well, the world is coming to an end. I say, it will come to an end, but not this one. It has come before and gone, maybe not in our generation, but this is our own test. There will be two kinds of people that will show up. Those who are going to come out and hit the ground running because they've been incubating, they've been innovating, they've been restructuring, and they'll hit the ground running with a better life, a life that they never even knew existed, despite the challenges. And those who are going to come up sitting on the pity party lane of life, they still have breath in them, but they chose to stay with the negativism because negativism is easier to acquire and it's easier to stay in that corridor, feeling sorry for oneself. And when it's all said and done, they're going to be the one to say, oh my God, what happened? Where do I go from here? So I got good news for you, where you're going to go from here, right? So I'm thankful that you're alive and well to listen, but be vigilant. Don't minimize how bad this monstrous virus COVID is. COVID-19, we can give it all kinds of names. People even come up with songs, about this thing, really, just to make light of it. Because the minute to make light of something, the easier you can deal with it. And I'm not talking about making light of the business, or the how wicked this thing is, but making light of the challenges that you're going through so that you can embrace it. So I'm going to get straight to the point. Are you ready? 7 things you can do when your life unexpectedly get disrupted. And sometimes, to be honest with you, it's not just this COVID, but the reason why why this is so huge is because it affected everybody literally almost around the same time, right? Guess what? The first point is become a mindset differentiator. Become a mindset differentiator. The reason why I put the word differentiator is the fact that everybody has a mindset, right? Everyone has a mindset. And I'm telling you guys, the next week, I'm going to have a guest. For the first time on Ditch, I'm going to have a guest. You got to tune in to hear what we have to talk about. And it's really, really, really huge. When you're going through a period like this, you don't want to stay with the shenanigans and Uncle Reres who are going to be talking about how things can be done. Find positive people who say it can be done, because there is power in positivity when there's number of people coming together to say something can be done. Ideas will start to come to them. So the reason why everybody talks about mindset, and I'm very big on mindset, the reason why I added the word differentiator is because if your mind does not differentiate with the minds of others who stay in the lane of it can be done, oh, my life is over, then you won't be able to gather the courage. And the difficult thing about it is that it's not easy to be a differentiator, because majority, as much as majority carries the day, maybe in politics, in other arena of life, I can tell you the few people who have the audacity to differentiate their mind from the majority are those that are going to be the winners at the end of the day. Let me tell you what I'm saying for an example. Remember 2008, 2009, when we had the economic meltdown, which is totally different. I'm not trying to compare the two disruptions, but I'm trying to talk about what happens, or the people who know how to differentiate their mindset when something bad happens, or when unexpectedly something, kicks them off their normalcy. So at that point, I think it was Uber and some other companies that started. Do you know that this is the best time that you can start anew, that you can look to see what is going on and how you can utilize this opportunity to create, to innovate, and flip whatever you were doing before, see how you can clean it up, but don't talk to those who say it can be done. Because if you can't change your mind, you cannot change your situation. If you've been thinking and doing things all along the same way you have been doing it, and you're hopefully waiting for this to be over so you can go back to your old ways, can I tell you something? I'm never a bearer of bad news, but I can guarantee you it's not going to happen. You have to adapt to a new way of being and doing. And the only way you're going to be one of those who overcame and did this, and it's going to go to the right direction, is if you start now. Begin to think differently. I'll continue to pick up on this mindset differentiator. So set your mind on what it is and where you want to go when this is done. Pull a few people who say it can be done. I watch people calling and making negative comments and talking about it and going to sleep, waiting for things to get over. Have you been laid off from your job? What about that idea? Your mind needs to begin to shift to the things. And guess what? All you need now is technology, a piece of phone to be able to leverage. Maybe instead of just waiting for the government to hand you a check, which we're grateful for, because we all need it. Everybody's hurting right now. But as you're waiting for that, what does God give you? What has God given you? What is in the palm of your hand? What gift is there? Perhaps the book you've been wanting to write. As a matter of fact, I'm writing 3 or 4 of them right now. And you're going to start to do something. But for that to happen, your mindset has to be different. Perhaps some say, well, I don't have money. To be honest with you, you are the asset and not the money. Number two, don't let fear of the unknown, right, steal your destiny or future. You see, right now, the majority of those that are alive and well, and I'm not trying to minimize the impact of what we're going through, but you're looking at someone who has done so many things afraid. You see, a lot of people think I don't have fear, and that's a lie. Every human being has fear. But again, as a mindset differentiator, again, so now you see how I'm using it. I don't go where most people go. I don't do what most people do. Not because I think my way is better, but it works for me. When you talk to a whole lot of people that are afraid to take chances, I take chances, but I calculate as much. But if I fail, I get up right again and go again. Now I'm better and better than ever and much more stronger and more knowledge to tackle the next phase. Because life is not a marathon, it's a journey. Each time, right now, with this COVID-19, a whole lot of things are going to be disrupted. Everywhere you look around now is so much negativism. But can I tell you guys, there are some folks that are the mindset differentiators that are creating or may already be making billions right now. And there are those who, for whatever reason, I was cracking joke with somebody this morning about food. And so I said, well, I've been trying to lose some weight. Maybe now I don't have to eat so much so I can, economize the food that I have. And the indirect product will be that I'm going to look fine. I'm going to look smaller. Guess what I'm doing? I am using my mind to create an opportunity that instead of feeling like I'm lacking, I'm empowering myself that not eating so much can be a benefit to my health. Maybe I'll breathe better. I'll stand taller. Who knows? What am I doing? I'm trying to give you some idea on how you can actually benefit from what is going on right now. So COVID-19 uninterruptedly disrupted our lives. But it's everybody. I know some say, oh yeah, but I'm not one of those big people. It's everybody. And in a few minutes, I'm going to share something. It's a video I'm going to share with you because this is imperative. I'm a social justice advocate. I fight for the less privileged. I know what it means not to have or be the one that's discriminated against or the one that nobody wants to give opportunity. So I make sure that I'm dedicating my life to make sure that others are given and make sure that we support each other. And one of the conversations I was having with a medical doctor in the I think it's in the African community is that what are those African professionals in the health, what are they doing to collectively come together to have a voice on how they're going? Because a lot of Africans are either nurses or doctors. What are they? This is the time that they can even create an organization that will become permanent so they can get more. You see where I'm going with that? And this is available to everyone. Doesn't matter where you come from. But I'm just trying to create opportunity for some people. Instead of everyone being disbanded and disjointed in different spaces doing their own thing. Can I tell you something? There is power in number. There is power in unity. Because any house that is divided can never make it. And that's why we fight collectively to make sure that we're all together and we're in this thing together. So find a way to make sure that instead of this situation taking over your life where you feel like you can't do anything, what about doing what I call flipping your destiny? If you survive this, and a whole lot of people, as sad as it is that thousands and thousands of folks are dying all over the world, and my heart goes out to each and every one of those families. Can I tell you, there will be millions more that will survive it. But what is this teaching us? Are you perhaps not thinking about the consequence of this at the end of the day? There is so much. My challenge for you is COVID affected your life or your business. What are you going to do about it? Perhaps it's time for you to rethink the kind of business you're doing. Every business now must be online, on your own. I mean, you're thinking, oh, I'm already online, but are you thriving? And number three, don't resist the disruption or change. Acknowledge and embrace. You see, I think one of the reasons why I believe as a coach as well, when I coach people, the apprehension they have about change is actually the obstacle. Because whatever you embrace and acknowledge now gives you the power to be able to do something about it. But when you're in denial, And you're thinking things are going to be the same way? Because the only thing we know for a fact is that change will always happen with our permission or without our permission. Just like this invincible monster called COVID-19, we didn't give it permission to show up, but it still showed up. Our job is to do what? Find creative ways to win. And at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, we're going to be better. We're going to be stronger. Hopefully, this will bring people, unite people all over the world. So you're not going to say this is African problem or this is American problem. This COVID, if nothing else, has taught us that we're all in this thing called life together. Everybody like, what's going on? What is happening? I realized this is going to be here for a little while. I immediately flipped my mindset. Are you flipping your mindset right now? Do you know that's what you need to do? You need to talk to people who will encourage you on whatever. I don't know what your particular situations are, but I can guarantee you it is not peculiar to one person. What God does for one, He can do for another. Whatever it is your condition is, you can do something about it. So at this moment, we're going to show another video, and then when we come back, I will talk more about it. And this is about the reason why COVID-19, if you've never understood why you need to be counted in census, the COVID-19 is the reason. And after the video, I'll share a little bit more.
Bonjour, je suis Kadi Keita.
Je m'appelle Imam Pabou.
Je suis Aïcha Traoré.
Je viens du Mali.
Je viens du Burkina Faso. Je suis tresseur de profession.
En tant qu'Africaine,
la famille et la communauté sont très importantes.
Voilà pourquoi aujourd'hui,
je veux vous parler du recensement de 2020.
Et combien il est important qu'on fasse un décompte exact et adéquat
de toutes les personnes vivant aux États-Unis
et en particulier dans notre communauté.
En effet, le recensement a beaucoup de bénéfices.
Par exemple, il nous aide à allouer des fonds aux écoles.
Pour la construction des services publics comme les hôpitaux.
Les sapeurs-pompiers.
Il nous aide aussi à identifier les endroits où construire des garderies, des routes,
des entreprises, des centres commerciaux.
Il permet même de déterminer
le nombre de chaises
pour nos représentants au Congrès. La collecte de toutes les données permet également au gouvernement d'assurer qu'il y ait
une représentation
équitable du secteur privé et public pour que tout le monde puisse avoir la part qui lui est due.
En d'autres termes, répondre au recensement de 2020
nous permet de façonner l'avenir de notre communauté.
Pour répondre, c'est facile comme bonjour. On peut le faire par appel téléphonique,
via Internet
ou face à face.
Les réponses sont sécurisées,
confidentielles, mais surtout protégées par la loi.
Alors,
ensemble,
engageons-nous donc
pour le recensement de 2020.
Car notre avenir
et celui de nos enfants
en dépendent.
Moi aussi.
Moi aussi.
Moi aussi, je compte.
Of Africa. It's my pleasure to be with you all on Thank God It's Friday. What you gonna do? Don't worry if you're one of those people who are out hanging out with brothers and sisters, and it's okay. Turn it around. Put on some music that you like and just dance away. Treat yourself. Don't depend on other people to do these things for you. You owe it yourself to be happy. The next point is decide immediately this thing here wouldn't take you down and come back with more strategy on how you're going to get this. Remember, life is about a series of decisions. The minute you make that decision, like you get up, you get over the shock and say, this is not going to take me down. I have written this, and most of you can also go to my social media page or send me an email. I can send you additional information about this or what I'm talking about here. This is the way I've conducted my life and things I've observed in the life of those that I've coached over the years, how they were able to deal with it. As much as this is unique, I'm talking uniquely to this, it's also applicable to other things in life when you get disrupted, whether you got divorced and you didn't, whatever it is, whatever type of disruption, you can apply this to it. So number 5 is plan to regroup and restructure your life and or your business. You see, anyone who is not adaptable, anyone who is not flexible, If you're not flexible, flexibility will take over by force, and you're not going to like how twisted your life or business would be. So I am constantly regrouping and restructuring the people in my life, the people in my life, the type of business that I do, my mindset, the people that work for me, the people that work with me. I mean, so you have to constantly do that. So you have to constantly evolve as a person, your mindset, what you read or what you're not reading, what you're listening to, anything in that regard. Because if you're not doing that, you're not evolving, you're not growing. And I can guarantee you, follow these 7 pillars right here. There's no way you cannot begin to grow in a different manner. And don't do it by yourself. There are people out there who can, and I'm not talking about meeting them physically right now. Practice the social distancing. Number 6, look for creative ways to create a new normal as best as you can. The only way you're going to remain feeling sorry, whatever you do, first of all, don't feel sorry for yourself, is if you do not find creative ways to begin anew. So let's say you used to a storefront, or let's say you were, in terms of even products right now, just realize the people that are really still surviving to some degree, despite the disruption, are people in the food industry, right? You need to evaluate what kind of business you've been doing, what kind of life, or even work, right? Could you start something you've been working on this while? So these are the ways you can become, and you know what? Why most people don't follow through? They think it's too difficult. But guess what? If you're afraid of doing difficult things, why would you expect anything to change? In order to have what you've never had, you have to do what you've never done before. In order to get what you've never gotten, you have to do what you've never done before. It is imperative that you begin to creatively, and I tell people that I don't have the room and time. I can give a series of examples of how I've done that in my life. I know for a fact that I am the asset and not the money. If you know that and you have the mindset, you, with no means in sight, you can flip your destiny for sure. I've done it, been there and done that, and have the t-shirt and everything to show for it, right? Number 7, adversity is the mother of invention and the creator of opportunity. I left this for the last. If you do not encounter, and I'm working on a book in that regard, you'll be, stay tuned. And for those of you that are not aware about the books I've written, go to Amazon.com and put my first and last name, Margaret Dureki, D-U-R-E, all of them. I'm all about personal and business development. And I'm cranking them out as God puts them in my mind. But here's the thing. COVID-19 is happening, is disrupting, and it will continue to disrupt. But the question is, the answer is, if you're able to follow through with this 7 that I've just shared with you, I'm not able to expand some of this so much. I can even do an hour show on each topic, but the goal is not to bore you, but to give you some nuggets of what you can utilize. This is the time. So adversity is the mother of invention. Do you know, and if you're watching, paying attention to the positive, you will be amazed how many businesses are already born as a result, that are already benefiting from this. And I can even tell you, at such a time as this, my work is even more in demand. I'm getting more calls to speak, to do this on different things. But because I had prepared, you have to build it until they come. Don't wait for life to happen before you begin to organize your life in the direction you need to go. Do you follow me? Like the people of Zoom, when they created this, I'm telling you, they created it for a reason, but they built it not knowing what will come tomorrow. So don't only look for things that looks like you're going to make money, right? Don't do it in that regard. Money is important, but for me, it's by default. It's amazing what could happen when life disrupts. Your idea or your mindset could be the differentiator that can save lives. If you focus on saving lives, nothing can stop you from prospering. Nothing can stop you from not surviving when the time comes, because you're going to be in the right place at the right time. It is the mother of invention and the creator of opportunity. There are so many opportunities that are being born today, every hour. If you find yourself in a very bad light because of COVID-19, take it in. If you need to cry, it's okay. If you need to pray, it's okay. Because for me, prayer is the key. But remember, prayer without action. I tell people, don't talk to me about prayer if you're not going to do anything. The Lord that I serve is the one that rewards those who pray and work at the same time. Begin to think anew. This is a wake-up call for each and every one of us, that creative freedom is the only way. And you cannot have the same business. Every year you're not growing, you're not doing anything differently. You're still with the same people who have not uplifted you need to go where you need to go so you can learn what you need to learn, so you can create the life that you want and the life that you can use to share and bless other people in the community. Well, my brothers and sisters, I'm trying to make sure that at the end of all of this, you're going to be one of the people that are going to say, COVID-19 unexpectedly disrupted my life, but I did A, B, C, D, and because of that, I'm a good beneficiary from this wicked monster. As bad as this is, I'm telling you, and there's so many good things that is coming out of it. So wake up. Don't just talk about how bad it is. Talk about what can you do with what is right now. Each and every one of us has what it takes. Each and every one of us that survived it for a reason. Maybe it's your second missionary journey. Find out, and you can only find out from doing and being. If you've been living a selfish life, maybe this is the time for you to get up and care for other people. What are you doing? You know what we did with Tati? Because every business cannot be a food business or the one where you need to go out there and serve. Everything you do, find a way. Because in our organization, normally we only serve those that are part of our organization or the schools we partner with organizations. But we opened it up. We opened our online platform to any of those other students because we don't want them to go crazy or drive their parents crazy. Because once you engage somebody's mind, you have captured their energy. Because once they focus it, that's where they're going to go. So I just want to say that if you find that you've been disrupted, it may not even be this. There are some people that are thriving in this. And you can choose to be one of those that is going to thrive with this circumstance. And it was a choice I made. Even when my kids came to me, as soon as this whole thing was falling apart, I say, Grace, guess what? It's an opportunity. All you need to do is make sure you abide by the CDC, what the state of Maryland Health and all of them are saying you should do. Don't do stupid. Stupid doesn't work. You don't want to test like some pastors like, oh, we're going to pray this away. But so if you take, and now a lot of people died as a result. So why are you going to test God with this? Why didn't you put your hand on the fire because you're going to pray that? Think about that. God is giving us wisdom. So if anybody's telling you to do what you know doesn't make common sense, in the name of the Lord, don't do it. Because our God has more than common sense. Do what it makes sense. Because our children are watching us. Let's keep safe. Let's look out for one another. The only way we're going to get through this is not through stupidity. Is by being measured in all that we do. Is by making sure that we're doing what we need to do. So that we'll be one of those that will give the testament that we survived this. And this is what came out of it. Have you thought about the fact that you could even come up with an idea on how you can be the one to add some ancillary services to those who need something to do with this COVID-19? There is so much that you can do. So I'm saying to you, life happens. This has happened to all of us. I'm choosing to stop it. I'm choosing to do something about it because I cannot stop what is going on. So I'm going to bring this to a close. And thank you all for watching. I hope you got something out of this 7. If you want to get more detail of it, you can follow my social media. You can also go to my channel on the margaretspeak.com and you click on the YouTube channel. You can get the full detail about that. And if I can help in any way, feel free, right? You should also share and like our platform. Media to Africa is really awesome. Like Media to Africa, they're doing some great work and sharing the information. Remember that if you're not counted in the census, you're taking a lot from your community. That's why this COVID-19 is the reason why. It's the reason why people need to understand why they must be counted, because it's showing you what numbers matter. So don't think it doesn't matter. Until next one, I want you guys to make sure you like Margaret Speak on Facebook, social media, any kind of social media. I don't know what they call them, IG. The same way with Media to Africa, so that you can share this with other people who may be discouraged or not feeling good about what's going on or being hopeless. Maybe if you lost your job, you can be looking for a job, but I can guarantee you can create one. And that's my message for you today. So go to margaretspeaks.com or check me out. I'm the founder and president of Witati Women, and we empower to achieve the impossible. Until next time, my brothers and sisters, we're going to kick the behind of COVID-19 because we got it like that. We've been through before, we succeeded, and this time around, we're going to do it, but it's only through unity. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Kick on some music and dance the night away. And thank God you made it as you pray for those who didn't. Take care until next time. May God bless and do something great for someone.
Wetati, W-E-T-A-T-I. On April 18th, Wetati, in partnership with New Brew Cultural Center, University of Maryland College Park, and Media to Africa presents the 2020 Wetati Ann Reese Carswell Scholarship and Awards Day.